Uh-oh, what happened? There we go. Stay outside and I'll sit inside. Good evening. How you guys doing? Got you guys on here. Show 49. Is that correct, Daniel? 49. I know you've seen some El Diablos or El Jefe stuff. I said El Diablo because you've seen a bunch of El Diablos, but now I'm sitting inside of the El Jefe, and I'm sitting in the front seat. One thing I like a lot is the fact that I can just step right in across the running board. Also, this running board allows me to step on here to get out. So I got a nice, get a position here. So stepping in, we got the door off this side just so you can kind of visualize the running board. But I told you guys there'd be a running board here that links in to the double frame rails. There's 2 frame rails down here on the bottom to get the structure, and obviously to keep the feet in the vehicles. But the nice thing is we can literally step right in through here into the car. A lot easier than what we had in our other cars. Another thing is a safety aspect. Having this A-post support bar is really cool. Back seat are in the production position. Production fuel cell is in place. Walking around a bunch of room here. A lot of things came into play. Being able to get foot room up under the front seats. I've got a metal support bar here, protect the feet. There'll be some foot pads here. And as you get down under there, there's a full room to get your feet all the way under the driver's side and passenger side.
Show them how to hold your phone.
Perfect. Go ahead and take that for me, Daniel. I'm going to climb in the backs. I'm 5'10". If you want, Daniel, can you slide this seat back for me? I'll hold. Hey, Casey, can you slide this seat back? Just if it's a...
Don't talk because your mic is taking the noise.
Okay. All right. Casey's going to climb in the front seat. Could you drive the car in that position, Casey?
If not forward.
If not forward from there. So as a 5'10",
6 foot.
200, me, 5'10", Casey, 6 foot, easily comfortable in the back seat with a 120-inch wheelbase 4-seater. Like I said, very, very comfortable in here. These are the mounted seats. The fuel tank, the production seat tank is under the passenger back seat. This is the one that is a production tank that we've had for almost a year now. We've had that part because the testing that has to go on with that is massive, and it's now out of testing, and we've got it back and in a car. So it gives us just really good fitment to double check CAD versus reality. This is a fully CNC notched chassis based off of CAD and making everything work. So I'm really pleased with where it's at. This has the roll cage powder coated like on the RGs. This cage is now painted as well. It's going together for final assembly. I'd say next week's show you'll see a completely operational El Jefe that'll be on its way to California to double check all the harness. It's going first to James Lynn, who is our electronic engineer, and yes, he's our electronic engineer, not only on trophy truck parts, but on production parts. He's took on the project to be our electronic guru on the Speed UTV project, and we've been obviously running those tunes for a long time, but now it's all the accessories with all the pigtails and a loom that is interchangeable from a 4-seater all the way down to a Bandit, the short wheelbase. Just by the location, we clock the ECU in the back and the routing of it. That way it has a consistent wiring harness for all cars, so dealers only have to worry about one wiring harness for 8, 9 models of vehicles to start with. These got production shocks on it, production spindles. We have our new knuckle at the bottom, as production cars will be not like the speed side-by-side race car parts like Max runs with the rod ends at the bottom. This has the monoball receiver. It has the forged spindles, and we will be in the desert, as I said, by mid-March with this one, and production cars should meet us about the same time. So maybe late March for production car with real plastics. So everything's coming together. Everything is getting done simultaneously. And when we build a car in CAD and then put it to real life, it's always good to have the two shops working right hand in hand. And we do come up with a lot of small issues with fit and finish, getting bolts in. There's a lot of challenges to make a production car. And, this isn't making one race car. I see the internet warriors out there giving us a hard time about what we're doing. But remember, we got to build 40 of these a day. It's not like we got to build 40 a month or 40 a year. If you look at Mason Motorsports, I think they're on all-wheel drive number 10, and that's a 2-year project of 10 cars. We've got to be able to produce 40 cars a day, every day. And right now, we're very fortunate to pick up wonderful customers that have been very patient with us, as well as some of the best dealers in the industry. And we are now, well over 10,000 cars committed, which the factory will run pretty much nonstop for about 250 days. I'll take the camera from you, walk over into the knuckles a little bit, show you that new knuckle down there at the bottom. We're waiting for those parts, finally got those in. Yeah, someone's going to say the jam nut's loose, but we know that. Thank you for that. Someone said they started the Honda in 2012. It honestly looks like they started it in 2012 too, as technology has changes. One thing here we have our hydraulic steering rack in here. Last weekend at the Parker 250, we shocked the electric power steering system, and obviously I went for a ride with Max. We ended up rolling 3 times. Cool thing is the suspension on the cars are strong enough that we literally rolled it back over, put some new tires on it, spent a few minutes in the pits, tack welding a couple things up, and we were back running again. So feel really, really, really confident with all the stuff we've learned in the last 5 years and actually in the last 20 years that we will have a lot of those teething problems solved right from the get-go. Other companies are going to start copying. Yeah, I understand that. That was unfortunately part of the program here. I needed to show you guys, all of our customers, all of our fans, all of our supporters out there, what we were going to do and how we were going to build a car to be able to get the sales where we were. Remember, we were able, Todd Romano and myself were able to start this company from scratch, being able to do it ourselves without investors, and being able to, besides our customers that people have joined on board with, but we've got a monster on our hands, and we produced engines, gearboxes, differential shocks, wheels, tires, suspension, chassis, and we're coming close to the finish line. But let me do a quick walk around and show you this bad boy. This is, now you see all production body lines. This is what the car will be. This is not, hey, it's maybe going to be this. This is not a carbon wrap. We will be offering full carbon replacement panels. So the Speed UTV, you could actually, once we get out there, no, we're not going to do it right now. We're not taking our eye off the ball. But as we do production fitment, and we go between CAD to CNC routed parts to fiberglass parts, then to carbon parts. It's allowed us to really focus on the body lines of this vehicle, and I want to show you that. Unfortunately, with just the black, you don't see the actual body lines, but it's got really, really smooth, nice details built in that really flow. I think the car is going to look very different than anything in the industry. I've got this side doors off because I wanted to show everybody, one, the safety aspect of the A-post support bar. As a production part, this is not an aftermarket accessory. This is part of our production parts. We've got corner gussets built in from the factory. We did not put a corner gusset here because we have so much weld penetration across the whole thing. Literally can step right in here. Got a running board we can stand on. Seat adjustments are very, very cool. For production seats, I think this is probably the stoutest, most stout, I don't know if stoutest is a word, most stout seat in the industry, seat mounting. Nice little adjuster here that has pins that register in on both sides to lock the seat into position. Lots of adjustment for the seat. Easy to pop it out. Just really good triangulation through the whole chassis. Simple thing is even the steering column from the shock to the brake master cylinders in double shear to the pedal, all one bracket, does three pieces.
Pedal placement for left foot braking?
Yep, so pedal placement is moved over. So as you can see, it's got plenty of pedal here for left foot braking and right foot braking with a nice big wide pedal. Speed shocks, 3.2-inch internal bypass production. As I said, hydraulic power steering. Shocks are in the proper position on the lower arm. I know there's a lot of guys in the UTV industry that are trying to do this, but we do have a patent in place with the shock on the lower A-arm in the position it is and moved out a little bit as we have different packages. We've got the only, besides the XX, the only front steer vehicle in the industry. And now we have the only full hydraulic power steering system in the industry, as well as a 3-speed sequential gearbox. 2 options of fuel. You can run E85. You can run 91 octane. Those are your 2 options. And it does have knock sensors built in place. Full skid. Have a full skid under the diff, full skid all the way to the rear. We did race a double X at Parker. That is a double X. It's pretty much a production car with some door bars in it. And I think we passed 30 cars on the first lap. We started 35th, and unfortunately, we had a problem on the second lap. Cool thing about this car, got room for your speed toolbox in the back, got room for a spare tire, and you can still see right through there. I believe the first in the sport category, full operational tailgate. Yes, it does have cup holders. So when you go to Glamis and hang out, the next skin piece does have the cup holders in it. I think I showed you in that a few shows ago. But you got a place to hang out. You don't stand outside when you go to Comp or Oldsmobile. As I said, the production full fuel tank is in there. A little over 13 gallons. Beautiful shocks, all aluminum. Adjustable compression and rebound with bypasses. 77 inches wide. Give you a front stance of the car. Does have camber, yes. We run camber in on the front A-arms, and we got the geometry built in that way. We have some camber built into the rear trailing arm as well. Can I sit on it right now? I can't. But you will be able to. The answer is yes, you will be able to sit on the tail bed. Will be able to support your weight. A couple people, as well as, like I said, some drink holders. That's in the next skin, but did want to show you spare tire all flushed in, toolbox. The engine's not in right now, so we did have to put some NASCAR weight in it. Got some tungsten down inside the wheel, just so we can get the shocks and springs to sit level like the stance will be as a production car. But tell me that thing's just not sexy looking down the side of it. Really clean, really smooth lines. Looks very production based. Instead of all the other UTVs, they look space buggy-ish. This thing is clean. Good approach angle in the front. Drop off ledges, tires stick out in front of the front bumper. And I'm going to get in and take a few questions. And next week, you will see this thing completely done, detailed out. And then look for us in the Arizona desert. We will be bashing around there again with two of our cars doing our final mileage stuff. Production cars are following short after. Big crowd tonight, over 500 here on Instagram Live. Thank you for tuning in. And, I think I'm doing a good job, but I really want to give a shout out to all the guys and girls here at Speed UTV, Speed Side by Side. Everybody's working hard, and we're committed to this project. So thank you. Dual rate? Yes, they are dual rate. Sorry, someone said shocks and springs. It doesn't have a crossover, but they are dual. Well, it does have the secondary spring. It does have the slider. The secondary stops are not in there. We got them as aluminum. They showed up as aluminum crossover sliders. And we all know in high-performance racing that the aluminum will strip on the aluminum. We've got to have steel sliders. We've got to have two different materials. So this is ride height. It does have dual rate springs on the front. It'll set down on that secondary and rock and roll. Diff is in for real. A lot of stuff is here. Roll cage is very, very safe, very structurally sound. We not only pass the ROVA standards, we far surpass those, especially with the spine all the way through the car. And we cross into FIA, score, best in the desert, those style roll cage rules, which surpasses the industry standard. Got the front V-bars that are part of the structure. Showed you that with the hood off before. Depends. Depends on what model. Springs will change based on different models. Orange springs on the Speed, I believe they're silver springs on all other models. RG has orange springs. No. This is just these are all shocks will be the same. These are just prototype black and clear hard ano, but they will change and they will be colored. Just love the way this thing looks down the side. It's just very clean. Tires track perfectly. Camber in at the top. I see a lot of race guys tuning in tonight. Love the running board down the side. Very easy, but you won't need to adjust your suspension on trail. We'll have it tuned for you right from the get-go. I'd be very surprised if you guys have the experience to tune it better than what we do from the factory. Stance is awesome on this thing. All right, I'm going to get into tonight's show. We're going to make a quick one from here, and we'll go from there. Thanks for tuning in. Hang on. Hey, Daniel, can you help me with this? How do we do? Oh, there we go.
I'll frame it when you get in there.
All right. Keep talking, Rob's telling me. Unfortunately, I don't see the questions when I'm here on deck, but everybody's happy? Things are coming together for sure. I got the wrong cover tonight, but it's okay. All good. Everybody's gonna need the carbon body. Carbon body is downright beautiful. Really excited with. What's that? All right. Show 49. There you go. We got some pictures. We at least when the show's done, people want to go back and look at the pictures. Just like I said, stance of this thing is it's pretty awesome. You see it sitting there next to my 5-seater pre-runner, right next to it on the surface plate. Front end view, suspension. Starting to see a lot more production parts. As we said, we got the knuckles down at the bottom. All right, plug was loose. Are we good? Better? Mike, okay?
I wish I never would have bought my YXZ.
How big is the gas tank?
Gas tank, 13.4?
Between 13 and 15.
That's a big number, Daniel. Let's go with 13.7 fuel tank. Love the side view of this thing. Guys are working on all the stuff so that all this stuff works. Wiring harness. I think this is a pretty cool piece to see. So currently, production harness is being made in California. These will be prototype harnesses, but they do have all the little pigtails in place for all the accessories. There is a separate engine ECU harness than there is from the main chassis harness, so they're separate. So if you wanted to get into full race mode, you could run our engine harness and not run our chassis harness. If you're going to focus on weights and stuff like that. Splits into 6 sections: engine, front end, headlights, rear end fans, tail lights, center section, main dash accessories, rear cage, chassis lights, radio antenna. We've got the harness where it switches into 6 different sections, but they're all the same on all the cars. People are saying, well, what about the stuff that goes in the 4-seat back seat? That would just be a loop that would take up that area. But the biggest thing is for our dealers, being able to have a harness that fits all the cars and replacement harnesses in case when you're wiring up something and you don't want to use our pre-wired stuff and you fry the system, the dealers will have harnesses built in for you. All right, so there's the harness. Exhaust, I've showed you a bunch of that. Turbine wheel, obviously incorporated all in. Really optimize the production exhaust geometry and function. And this is how we have an advantage on the competition is we used all the tools as a production to be able to incorporate performance into production parts. And a lot of guys, as we've seen Polaris, buy Pro Armor, buy other brands because they wanted to have upgrades for their cars. As a factory, we did it all in-house. Pretty much you have long travel, awesome front geometry, proper shocks, tires, wheels, radios, dashes, ECUs, tailgate, roll cage. I got to be honest, I don't know what you guys are going to change on the car, and I don't know what aftermarket is going to change. But I think that we've dotted our I's and crossed our T's all the way through the whole build here. And it's exciting times for sure. This is a lot of turbo ECU stuff, different parts getting 3D printed, getting some exhaust 3D printed out of Inconel for some more testing stuff. Obviously engine parts, we've talked about engine parts last week. And let's keep it short tonight. We got a lot of work to do this week. This car is gonna leave North Carolina, head towards the Arizona deserts, and take her down to San Felipe and just really put a bunch of miles on it the next 30 days. And hopefully any issues that we potentially see with our production parts, we'll solve those problems before production. This will be our last pre-production project. And you guys see a lot of good stuff coming very soon. I'm going to take phone calls tonight, 704-949-1255, 704-949-1255. Shoot me a call, and we'll talk El Jefes. Jefe, not Hefe. This is a Born in Baja program. Hey, you're on with Robby Gordon. How you doing?
Robby, what's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, Wes?
I'm good, bud.
Good. These phones are amazing these days. I know exactly who's calling me. Any questions for tonight? What do you think of the El Jefe that you've seen here on the surface plate?
Well, my wife and I, we've been watching this thing since day one, and it is looking spot on, my man. Super cool.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a dream to be able to do our own car. When I did the Polaris relationship in the beginning, we struggled to get what I really wanted out the door. And they had their ideas and I had my ideas. As we went on to the Articat relationship, everybody knows where we're at there, but I think this car here is going to take this industry to the next level. And these are production cars. These are not race cars that we're building for everybody. These are four-wheel vehicles to go out with your family and have a good time in the desert and really get out there into a distance of social distancing that other brands can't take you.
Yeah, for sure. No, we've been looking forward to this since. It's funny. Last year, I bought my wife a Valentine's present. And I said I just put a deposit down on the Speed UTV, and she's like, "What?" So,
Well, tell her thank you. I'm glad she's going to share her Valentine's present with you. Now, does that mean you're going to ride in the passenger seat, or she is?
Oh well, she's going to let me drive for sure. She's more of a rider for sure, but
I think I heard her in the background saying you're in the back seat is what I thought I heard her say.
Right. Oh man, we're looking forward to it. Yeah, we live down in Mojave Valley, basically just a little bit south of Bullhead.
Beautiful riding out there. I mean, I was out there last week. We're getting that place over at Havasu, so the Speed Unlimited in Havasu off of 95 will be your dealer for warranty. And I think that'll probably be the closest place to you. We've got a bunch of other great dealers from Coin Power Sports to ride now. Everybody's been really patient with us. The last thing they want us to do is launch a product that's not going to be reliable. And we've been nonstop on this thing for 49 weeks as we started doing the shows. It's not that long to be able to produce cars, engines, shocks, motors, gearboxes, all the pieces. And it seems like a long time for us. I'm sure it seems like a long time for some people, but as I said, we're not gearing up for one-off parts. We're gearing up for 40 cars a day for the first 6 months, and then being able to flick a switch to 80 cars a day. So we don't really care to sell the most cars in the industry. We just want to sell the best car.
No, I hear you for sure. It's we're looking forward to it. No matter what, you guys just keep plugging away, keep working hard, and there's a lot of guys out here that are rooting for you. So let the haters hate. We'll be all right. We're having fun watching it. So
cool. Thank you, and I look forward to riding with you very soon, especially out in that region.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got a quick question for you. When you're out there testing down down there in Parker and stuff. I know you said a couple weeks ago you didn't want a lot of people out there. Are you gonna allow?
Yeah, I'll let you guys know a place in a day that you guys can come check out. We'll have a few cars out there, and you guys can come take a look at it and just be understand that we have a job to do at the same time. But we'll pick one day during the middle of the week, and we'll tell you guys where we're going to be, time, location, GPS point, drop you a pin, and let's do that. So our goal right now is to be out in the desert that week of the, is it 12th to 15th? What is that week? Is that a Monday through Friday? It's the second week, really. Huh?
Okay.
Friday through Monday, right? Okay, cool. So 12th to the 15th is a Monday through Friday.
Sounds good.
Oh no, we'll be there probably. Let's shoot for more like the 14th, and we'll be there for 7 days, and we will definitely let you guys know where we're at.
Very cool.
We don't want to take this car to the desert until it has all of our production parts on it, and I'm talking accessories, whips, light bars, rock lights, stereo, all the stuff. Because if we don't have that stuff on it, we're not doing true testing. So we want to make sure that we have this car loaded down with every accessory.
Sounds good, and I'll make sure I'll bring your buddy Rory with me.
Bring Rory out there. Yep, for sure. Rory's definitely been a supporter of mine for a long time, and obviously we all know he's a hell of an artist and just a downright good person.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Rob. You guys have a good night, bud.
All right, take care, bud. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for being patient with us.
You got it, man. Anytime.
Thanks. Hey, you're on with Robby Gordon. How you doing tonight?
Well, Brad, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. You obviously tuning in the show tonight. What do you think of the El Jefe?
It's amazing, man. I'm quite excited. It's been interesting watching it from the beginning, and I'm very impressed with the work you and your team have done.
Well,
So it's pretty neat to watch it.
Thank you. Where are you calling out of? Where's that 775 area code?
We're based right outside of Reno, Nevada.
Okay, perfect. We've got Carson City Power Sports up there that has signed up with one of our dealers. They have a wonderful Articat and KTM dealership there in Carson City.
Yeah, yep. I think that's where my car will go. If I remember correctly, I have an RG edition El Jefe, and I think car 276 and 279. I'd have to look up the paperwork. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you. You're not mad at me for taking a little extra time to get it right, are you?
No.
Okay, cool.
No,
Thanks.
I emailed Ginger about a month ago or a couple weeks back, and she updated me. So that's always good. She's great to deal with. I like working with her.
Well, thank you. Matthew Johnson said you're great to deal with, Ginger. Likes working with you. And, the biggest thing here is, guys, we're not going anywhere. I hear all the nonsense out there of, we're going to run off and we're going to go do Fire Island and all this bullshit. And I got to be honest, it really hurts my feelings because we've been building cars for 3 decades. And we're going to continue to build cars, hopefully, for another 3 decades. And this is our first full production car into the production world. And we have learned a lot during this build, but we've never said we're not going to pull it off. We are head down, throttle down, 24/7, and we're seeing the finish line now, and we're excited about it.
That's great to hear. It's really good to see it coming together for you. So I called in to tell you guys that thing to watch, and I greatly appreciate how open you've been and what the car looks like, and it's definitely going to set you guys apart from the rest of the competition, in my opinion.
Well, thank you. We've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from Polaris, learned a lot from Articat Textron, and I think that we're truly ready for this, and we've matured enough as a group with Todd Romano and his accessory stuff that he did with Dragonfire back in the day, and all the engineering stuff, all the great people that we've had involved in this project, from engine suppliers to gearbox guys to even though we're not using King shocks. The relationships, over the last decade, King shocks and all the other things. We've just learned a lot, and we're ready for it. So thanks.
Great. Thank you very much. I wasn't caller 4, I take it off.
No, you're a caller 2, but thank you.
Thank you, Robby. Thanks for talking. Have a great day.
All right. Hey, we are not. If Seth gets on the line, I'm just going to hang up if I hear his voice. All right. Seth has won like 2 or 3 times now. So
I know. I saw the kid. He got the remote trophy truck signed by you guys, right?
yeah, he's a good kid, and he actually asked if he could, one of the evenings he wants to go through all the shows and ask a bunch of questions, because he said there's so many questions that are still out there that we don't answer, which I'm surprised, but we can only get so much in an hour. So thank you very much, and do appreciate it, and look forward to riding with you.
Thank you. Great.
Bye. Hey, you're on with Robby Gordon. You're caller number 3 tonight. How you doing?
Hey, this is Seth.
Hey, Seth, you're only 3 tonight, buddy. You're not number 4.
It's not winning about the prizes. It's just calling in for me.
It's just calling in to give me a hard time. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good. How was your week?
Good.
I haven't talked to you in probably at least 14 days, so it's good to hear from you again. I'm glad you guys are checking in with us. You got any questions tonight?
Yeah. So can I read off a few that people had in like the Facebook?
How many questions you gonna get? How about 2 questions?
All right, I'll give you 2. So,
And then hold on a second. I did tell Ginger tonight, and then maybe next week this car will be sitting here. We can probably we can do. I'll give you 4 questions next week, but let's do 2 tonight.
okay.
All right, give me your best 2.
Can the speed key ever be resold and programmed to a different car? I don't know why they would want to do this, but
The answer is the speed key will be locked to your ECU that's in this car. Now, if you swapped an ECU with somebody, I wouldn't be able to control that. But the ECU is locked to this car the best of our ability. But I believe if you unbolt the ECU, we would have a hard time.
You have a security system like VIN locks.
Yeah, we have security. The VIN code is into the ECU, but we would obviously be able to track that ECU at some point with all of our tracking systems that we have built into the dash.
yeah. Okay. So the second one is, what is the turning radius?
Less than a football field.
Less than a foot. Okay, so less than 100 yards.
Way less than 100 yards. I'm joking with you. I've joked around before. You probably listened to me on some of my NASCARs, and I said this thing wouldn't turn left in a football field. But I believe, what is our angles? I believe we're 35 degrees on the outside tire. We're 37 with accrement built in on the inside tire, and that's all the way through all travel and droop. So 37 degrees. I'm sure Daniel could calculate that, but one thing we can't calculate is the rear tires are connected together as a spool, which means both tires go the same. So one has to go forward, one has to go backwards to be able to turn. And that gives you a little bit of what we call understeer, or it really wouldn't want to steer as good, but the accrement is trying to help us do that. But this is non-sliding. This is just driving around on pavement. It'll obviously turn a sharper, sounds crazy, on dirt than what it will on pavement, because it has less slip resistance, or scrub resistance might be the better way of saying it. And it'll actually make a sharper corner in dirt than it will on pavement. But this is all experience we had with the last car we did, and we believe that we've improved it. As a 4-seater, I believe 35 degrees should be right about in the ballpark as far as steering angle. 37 on the inside tire should be in the ballpark with the other competition. And we are, I believe, the shortest 4-seater in the high performance version. Now, if you want to consider a Honda high performance, you can, but I believe that they're right around the same wheelbase as we are. I believe we're 5 inches shorter than the new Polaris, and we're 120-inch wheelbase. So Daniel's going to look up the Honda Talon wheelbase, because wheelbase has a lot to do with steering radius as well.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully.
Why do you say Boku? There's kids watching the show. Me.
Why do I say what?
Bull and then the S word.
Oh, bullshit. I mean,
Come on, man.
you have not been out on a farm. Did you not grow up out on a farm? I mean, there is cow turds everywhere. What's wrong with some cow turds?
Robby, I'm starting to turn out like you.
Exactly. Could be.
But the sure do stick out.
Well, cool. Hey, you know what my dad told me a long time ago? If you have 50% of the world love you and 50% of the world hate you, you got 100% participation. Everybody knows who you are.
Yep.
So go with it and just do the best you can to be a good person, like I try to. I mean, obviously, there's times I make people mad, but you know, at the end of the day, I do it my way.
Yeah, Robby, I hope you do know that I did move. Stop sending RC cars to the wrong address.
Well, stop calling in and winning all the RC cars. Have a good one. I'm going to post a video of Max at the old Hastings building. He's over there tonight launching his RC car. So after the show tonight, I'll post a new RC video. I think he's doing destructive testing again. He built some kind of hot rod engine and put that engine on the speed RC car. And he says it does nothing but wheelies. He's got it where it does full backflips. I think he said it does 85 miles an hour. So it's pretty nutty.
Oh my gosh.
So he's been playing electronic engineer. He's getting ready for the Biden car.
Maybe we could race one day.
Cool. I hope you can. Good talking to you.
All right, bye.
Have a good night. All right, you're caller number 4 tonight. How you doing?
Good, boss. Good. How are you tonight?
Doing good. Hey, you got a speed UTV on order?
Yeah, car 234 from Psychotic Industry.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you very much. What kind of accessory you want tonight? Be reasonable. I don't have one, so you tell me what you want.
Hey, I'll take anything you offer is good for me, boss. I just want some good product, big product.
You want a light bar? Or do you have a light? Did you buy a light bar in your car already?
Yeah, I got light bar, windshield.
You have rock lights?
I did the rock light.
All right, you did a windshield. You did rock lights. Huh? How about seat heaters? You got seat heaters?
Yeah, seat heaters with cushions.
With cushions. Jesus, you got fire extinguishers?
No, I don't have fire extinguishers.
All right, you won 2 fire extinguishers tonight. There we go. Car number, what's your car number?
234, so Psychotic Industries.
234 from Gino, Psychotic Industries. Vehicle master number 234. You have El Jefe or El Diablo? What do you got?
Yeah, the one you're building now, Jefe.
All right, this thing's awesome. I've been out of town for the last week out in Arizona again. Just looking at some business opportunities out there. You know, making sure that we can deliver cars and do the right things. And when I got back today, obviously this thing is taken a big step forward. We needed a little more time today to get it where it was, sitting as a roller, but obviously you'll see it as a runner in next week's show. And this thing will be starting heading towards Arizona. So thanks for calling in. You got any questions?
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm from Palm Springs area or whatever. I'm always in Havasu. Enjoy the area out there. So I can't wait for this.
Awesome. Well, thank you. You're not too mad at me about, you're one of the early ones. You're not far after Sand Sports. You're cool with what we're doing, right?
Yeah, definitely, boss. I just want this, you know what I mean? It's looking awesome. I love how every week you describe everything, how it's done. It's just great.
Cool. What we don't tell you guys is the mistakes we do make during the week. And there is mistakes that we're learning. And that's one of the parts of developing a car is we got to catch our mistakes before we get too far down the line. And
that's all that matters. It's going to be a good product. I believe in you. I think it's going to come out great.
well, thank you. You're going to wrap up tonight's show. Any other questions or are you good?
No, I'm good. Just enjoy your week, man. Keep
All right.
it fun.
You too. We'll be working all weekend. Thank you very much. Everybody have a safe week. Great weekend. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you, boss. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right, that's going to wrap up tonight's show. I'll do another quick walk around. Like I said, I'm really excited where we're at with this car, the whole development of it. I ran over the speaker wires. Hopefully that's still there. Do a quick zoom in. I just love production spindles, front steer, nice big monoball on the bottom, forged 7075 front spindle, shock where it belongs, on the lower A-arm, tie rods on the front. We do have patents on that, and we are going to enforce that as well. It's a competitive advantage. Structurally, chassis, I believe we've got the best chassis now in the industry. Doors are rad. I mean, I'm just going to go in this way. It's just easier for tonight. But being able to step right through the door there, stepping into the car with dual frame rails, double shear everywhere. including steering columns, collapsible steering column. We talked about that last week. Full hydraulic steering, which caught us out last week at the Parker 250. Fuel tank, full skid plate underneath. Skid plate comes out. This will have a brake in it, and it will hold up against these panels here, protect the plastic panels, a little double protection. Double shear sway bars, production trailer arms, trailer hitch. How about that bad boy, huh? Trailer hitch built in on all cars. Tailgate, opening and closing. Daniel's a big guy sitting in the back seat. How tall are you, Daniel? 6'3". With a 6'9" torso, he says. He can sit in the back seat and go for a ride. All right, it's going to wrap up this week. Thank you. Have a good night.